Shit, let's see if I can remember it. If you're it's not ready yet, but it's a thought flow that basically summed up like why emotions are emotional and not to be used for things that aren't emotional. You see, the logic behind it is that we have logic, we have emotion, and we get those really confused, I guess. Like, this is going with the this is where we're hitting in my shit, my philosophy, right? Like the we're conceptualizing ourselves wrong. Like as humans, we're multiple people, and to say like we're one person as just like he's good or bad is, like is Donald Trump a good guy? Well, are you fighting him or are you fucking him? Two different people there. I don't want either one of them. That's a joke, right? I don't want to meet either one of those guys. But the whole thing is like we're multiple people, and to think of ourselves as like a standard set of conceptualized rules and how we're supposed to act and behave in society and everything else upon that's just blatant or just flat. But the other problem too is that so made the mistake of being honest, like really like kind of honest that like usually gets beat out of you in junior high. I just never gave up on, like, I just took it too far, I believe is what they call it. But as a, fucking wannabe philosopher at the time, well, technically not, not wannabe. See, that's your ego, right? See, that's the ego. Is it to like the self-analysis of why do I say that? Well, because I'm overcompensating a little bit still. Okay, so it's like, so the whole thing is like, you can break myself down into like the finest details or reasons why I have emotions. Why are we hiding from that? Why am I special that I can do that? I'm just curious, because it's like, that shouldn't be hard. Look, I totally fucking like cock. I don't, but like, it's just, unless it's on a dude with tits, right? No, to say like, it's just, so what? Yeah, oh shit. So, I claim nothing as a idea or anything that needs to be passed on to anyone. Everything I have to say is fairly optional. For my close friends and people that I'm trying to sway and influence, everything's always optional, right? But if I really need you to do something, I'm going to figure out how to get it done. Or at least I thought so. But yeah, it's, I mean, when you lie to yourself, it's like, oh no, this is good. Right now I'm coming up with, it's like if you're flying a plane and you have a compass, and you can correct for, or you can do it for altitude. Actually, let's do altitude. That's better. So you can correct for altitude on planes. So you dial them in. Now, if you keep fucking dialing that motherfucking dial by lying, you don't know what your fucking altitude is. And you're going to hit something or you're going to go in outer space, right? One of the two, but you have to undo it is the point. You have to undo it. Like, lies are cumulative somehow. Like, they just are fucking like, God bless your mom and dad, but you guys are why I'm doing this. You're like, hey, so I think that's one of my theories. I'm worried about, like, getting old. Like, actually old. I mean, I'm old as shit compared to, like, anything I've ever thought of old. I'm almost 50 years old. Fucking awesome. Yeah, but you smash into like a guy in like 30 who's, I'm sorry, he's 30. We were both doing it. Anyways, we're on bicycles, head-on collision, and I won. I mean, it was demolition. It's not a winning. Nobody wins in those. But I think it took his youth, so that was a lot younger after that. So I'm always afraid of Alzheimer's and any sort of degenerative thought diseases or mental illness. Dad, father psychologist, always saw that shit. Said grandfather, I came into this world, woke up like into grandfather that I never got to meet because strokes and stuff, and mental. I just remember him picking me up by one leg because I picked the cat up by leg. I was like, it's a kid. Got the kitty, and he's like, don't do that. So grabs me, picks him out. He like it. Oh man, yeah. So yeah, he wanted he actually told my dad to no, I remember my dad telling us that he wanted him to be a philosopher bum. You know, the irony is really steep right now. I mean, to actually hit actual bum, like I used to say I was a professional bum because I could just have a very minimalistic lifestyle. Once I lived for years just out of a garage. No, it was a garage. I stand alone, no insulation, no nothing, spiders, the whole deal. My bed, my charger. But I could lock it up and go travel, and it wouldn't, it wouldn't get fucked with. It wasn't like a door to a house that people were going to be crashing in and partying at, Which, no matter how much you try and keep it locked, your roommates will get into your shit. Especially, I mean, it's just gonna do it. Like, but yeah. So the key there, you should find the most trustworthy person, and you empower somebody. If you empower somebody, then you have someone there, and they'll do it because they want the power. They like the power. People love power. Power. Give me power. Don't you like power? See, the thing is that, and we have this whole thing about not criminalizing, whatever you fucking call giving shit. Well, it's criminal, but giving a bad connotation to shit. It's like being homeless now for a couple of years. Because it's like when I got here, I was not homeless. I was just it's very Shawnish for me to bowl over here and fucking handle some shit. It's a free place to live. And then the county. No, I'm not. By the way, this is not like talking shit on. I don't even know. I'm honestly really. They're not bad people, and I'm fucking Sean on their land. They've handled it really well. They're fucking with me really bad, but they've handled it really well. They really have. So this place is magical. This place is a place in time and space. I know my place is in time and space. I know when they fucking do their things, and so yeah. I mean, I've grown to so much since I've been here, like spiritually and everything. Like, and for anyone who doesn't. Oh, no, this is for everyone because they can get a retake on who I am. I basically, my dad, very analytical. He needs to fine tune his negative part of stuff, like because the whole point is you got to check yourself. If you don't check yourself, see what you're doing. For example, the very simplest thing. I love this one. If I'm gonna say Apple, what's the first thing? What do you think? And then I say that to people. Now I always started with red. I was like, "What? The color of fucking apple is red." That's very. Nobody's ever fucking said red though. So one word that we both know to be very, very fucking true. We all know what a fucking apple is, and then use oranges, and it's apples and oranges when there's no orange. It's just apples. That's what. Yeah, try it out. Like, cause nobody. Yeah, but a room full of people. Nobody will ever fucking say the same thing because it's like it's just. I mean, they probably will statistically get a big enough room. I mean, there's only so much you could say about an apple, but you get the point. I run in smaller circles. So yeah. So anyways, apples and oranges, bullshit. But see, this is why I go like, because I'll be honest with you. It's like, dude, I do not really want to tell anyone. I just don't like. I really like. I have a hard time saying shit, and then people not going like, "Oh, that motherfucker knows what he's talking about. You should listen to him." I also don't like that either, dude, because it's like that's just. I don't know. Like I'm just like I realize I'm around honest with the world. Like it's me. It's not me versus the world. It's me and the world. We're just kicking it, dude. We're doing this thing, and it's fucked up, and it's got some stuff in it that does some things. I mean, but then again, what's really cool is like so. I was not somebody who well, just believed in divine intervention. Flat out right there. I watched Pulp Fiction and I was like, that's not a fucking thing. That's not a thing. Why did you put that? Why did he put that? That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And then it had to happen. Not with bullets, so it wasn't Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, I could be John Travolta, right? Sean Travolta. Oh yeah. By the way, for whatever the fuck it's my first daughter's birthday today. So I wish her a happy birthday. It's the only way I can. So okay. So on that here, let's get real. See, I'm gonna say without being too revealing to a general. Let's put it this way. Right now, regarding my daughter, I have to make some decisions that are I have been for a long time, and it's on the surface. I just look like an asshole. I mean, that's why I'm here on the side of the road here. It's Like, well, a lot of it is it just took me down. I was like, the reality I had to face was just, I wasn't gonna make it much longer. I was drinking 3/4 of a handle a day to counteract the depression every day. Like, and that's the thing. So clinically, fucking, I mean, and there's ways you can do, like, to actually say this and not be a fucking asshole, which I specialize in, by the way. It's just like what I say is generally actually accurate by the standard that fucking we all think it is, because I want that. That's what I don't give a shit what anyone else thinks. If I can do that well, it's like it's just like my music. If I can make good music, then I don't care if anyone likes it. I get it. It's a little, but that's also distilling things to the point of what they mean to me. I mean, sometimes don't really make like a whole lot of sense. Like, but I really do. I want a lot of people to listen to it and like it, and then I don't want them to really say anything to me. Like, good job, because it's gonna make me feel awkward. I kind of like my life the way it is, and I don't like other people's opinions because I'm too sensitive. So I'm honoring the fact that I'm like McFly, or I don't know if I could take that kind of. And I can't, so I don't want to be famous, but I really want to make good music, and I like other people to hear it. So, we just happen to live in the time when that's just totally becoming possible. So, so what I realized just now, and this is like I guess turning into and what I mean by, I guess, like I'm figuring this out right now as we're talking, like this fucking second. It's called having a thought live, except for it's not live. It's live too. Yeah, whatever. Just live by today's standards. And it's not fucking made up by today's standards. That's interesting. Oh yeah, right. Now we can fake everything and I gotta be all real. Okay, so yeah, oh yeah, I'm looking like there's an album here. See, that was because in the old times fucking song laying there that I just played. There's not. It's digital. Anyways, so I was trying to look for a name. It was a something writing. Anyways, so bad with names. Sounds like a chick. Sounding like a chick. I'm not really sure today. Also being a part of this culture of, dude, I really handle it. I'm gonna say this really. I handle it very well because like I consider myself to be a masculine man, and I'm not like I'm very in search for my soul for this. Like I'm comfortable with it. Like and I've done tests to prove it, but like, to just go and I actually would say that would be the ultimate of like how much I'm calm with it. Like it just, next thing I know, I'm like, dude, you're singing as a chick, and you're good. So I got bitchy lyrics, whatever the fuck, dude. I mean, if I have lyrics that appeal to a female singer to sing in my ear, see that? And you can't fuck with me then, because it's all your stupid idea. That's the point. You know who the fuck you are, then what is anyone else going to say but they're stupid or they know you? Yeah. That's where I get this like absolute steady confidence and then just completely insecure behind it too. Because those are natural things. The insecurity, like, and then like for example, my paranoia, hyper paranoia. I was like, dude, so I conceptualize that as a dog. He's my guard dog. He's fucking running. He's gonna bark at everything. Anything that's fucking out there, he's gonna tell you it's there. You go look at it, and then you kind of go, no, fucking. And then that way, you're like, oh look, I thought that those three girls wanted to sleep with me at the same time, and they were talking to the guy behind you. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. Like you could just be like, oh right, well that's a little bit more on the delirious side, but you get what I'm saying. Like it gives you a, because the idea is to understand the perfection within everybody, right? Because everybody, no matter who they are, they're always. We're not better than this fucking world. We're not bigger. It's not possible for this world in its entire existence of whatever the fuck it is to the level that it exists for it not to be perfect, because it's defining itself as it happens. Like the fact that any existence, whatever it is, doesn't matter how it fucking exists and how many layers of dimensions. It has it, and that can't be anything else but that. If an alternate reality is then more of it. So therefore it's always one, and we're part of that. That's it. That's Sean's how to be one with everything in one step. And that's, take that, and then everything that doesn't exist, give it a 0. So 1, 0, binary, very simple. And then everything has 1, and you do too. You're part of everything. You have one thing in common with every fucking other thing, is that you're in this fucking thing. And that's the one thing we do have. We're all in it together, you know? And um and this is interesting too, because like also remember, like, even though this is, we have this other part, here's the multiple parts thing, right? So you have this chick, I can see that. Now I'm still also do and think things that I don't agree with my logic, and I will act on them logically. How you do that is you weigh everything out at the time, and you just know that the cost of doing this right now is this. Like, for example, this phone that I'm recording on, it was given to me by the people. Finally, some help, end of year service, and thank them to the streets team. They were fucking awesome. This is how I could turn anything around, because I had no internet. People, you need internet too. The phones are great, but if they don't fucking, like, the whole thing is like, give me fucking internet. I don't need a phone. I need fucking internet. I can make calls from fucking anything if I have internet, but I can't do shit if I don't have fucking internet. And if I can't do shit if I just have a phone. If I have a phone to call people, that's not good for anything, you know. So and not like anyone else is gonna do something with it, but they did. They hooked me up, and so due to the intense amount of pain and shit that I'm in, I will break stuff. Like, I'm fine with it. Like, shit, all my stuff's getting tossed anyways. It doesn't matter. But I mean, like, I just to give you an idea of the amount of I had a one of those DeWalt, the not the older NiCad version handheld DeWalt drill, and I snapped it like right at the hand, like right between the handle and the thing. I actually I used the handle on one of the vacuum prototypes. It was perfect. It broke it off perfectly. But I was just like, bam, and I was like, okay, that happened. Anyways, I did that to say the phone. It's just like, basically I have it enough of everything, and I couldn't get the music to go off, so I was getting very irritated and frustrated too fast, right? And so I get it off, and of course I want to take it out on the phone, and so I tried to do it on things that won't break it. And I have my briefcase, right, kind of just in, you're not really paying attention. You're just goes, well, a small part of you is giving you, like, can we land this fucking crashing airplane somewhere kind of deal, right? And yeah, the briefcase was there, so I parked the screen. Thankfully, I leave it there on because I can't do anything about it. It's not worth the money, and I don't have any anyways. Secondly, it still works. It's just broken, so it's kind of like, not to remind myself not to do it, because people are like, oh, I'll teach you, and I'm like, no, it's not teaching me. I'm going through fucking hell. I need to let it out somehow. You got to channel your energy. You got to understand it's like we're still human beings that need to procreate. So we want to fuck things. So don't tell us not to fuck, and then it's fucking is bad. But if you do a whole bunch of fucking and you fuck everybody, then, and if you go too far, it's rape. I mean, there's balances in everything, and so, yeah. So that's I started off, I was trying to go with the point of self validation, is that there's always going to be tells, and you got to look for things to substantiate anything that you are perceiving about yourself. Self-perception is something that I've studied since first grade when I figured out. So that's the that's the trick, I guess. So those are the luck of my straw or something. I also say this too, is I feel like that when you want to talk about preordained or something like that, like I don't really have anything to do with all amazing. Well, like most of the things that are amazing about me, except for sex. Those are that I didn't really have much to do with them. Every thought, because I'm good at tracing my thoughts back, and so like where they originate from. Like this whole thing with the unconditional love, that stemmed back to Victoria, this girl I was dating, and she's beautiful and amazing. And but the thing was, is like we got in big argument that I almost lost my. It was a lot of stuff, right? To be honest, and Victoria, so sorry at the time. I can look back and go, wow, I just can't believe I did as well as I did going through what I was going through. And Victoria, super sorry if you see this. You're awesome. She was just like, if she was like, we used to have the perfect fights. Like, we'd just be like, because it wasn't fake. Like, we would fight, but we wouldn't. She's like, we're not going to bed. She was like that one, like the one you marry and stay with. She's awesome. And obviously, the whole unconditional thing that I didn't, because at this point I'm 40 and I'm dating this super hot 27-year-old that's awesome. Like, I'm not being shallow at all. Like, I tried not to date her. I don't like hot girls. I mean, that kind of hot. They usually take too much. They're too superficial, and she wasn't. She was just fucking stuck that way, you know. And so, and she was real, and yeah. So just everything. But I couldn't. But at the time, you know, I had no. I was lying to myself. There we go. Yeah, the levels at which you lie to yourself. Even me right now, there's probably how many, you know. Well, and there's an importance to it. Again, I'm gonna really, if I'm gonna preach, I'm gonna preach. It's really everything. You know, whatever the answer is, it's always both. The answer has both in them equally. It's weird. For example, it's like, you know, in some of the earlier stuff as a kid, it was like, it's not nature versus nurture, it's nature and nurture. So both of them. You know, it's like you know, favorite one is like, dude, there's not one point of view. It's just like more than, it's not 100%. 100% is like, you know, just one thing. You know, and there's 200%. There's a lot of percents past that, and there's a lot of possibilities. And just, you know, like I have always operated under the 99.999% rule of that's as far as I ever go, knowing anything. There always has to be like, you know, this tiny little bit of percentage that just something, even if I just watch it happen right in front of me, I can't. That was one of my conceptual thoughts in first grade, was that I was like, I couldn't prove the previous second existed. It just should. I couldn't prove that I just said that, you know. And so and here's the you know, way the world works is that, you know, my dad's always been like the kind of more analytical, hypercritical, you know. It's like, unless I can show him, he's like, you're nuts, dude, you know. So it's 2019. I'm going really having a hard time figuring out. I've been using everything I have to alter reality into a certain direction. You know, basically, like, I'm throwing down, dude. I'm throwing down. I'm like, I care enough. I'm gonna burn my life. That's why I'm here. I'm gonna burn my life to the fucking ground, and that's gonna make it so that things turn out better. And I just know it. I just know that's, I can't fuck it. People could say whatever. They're like, Sean's an idiot. Now I have to put that. This is like, you know, life or death. This is everything. You know, this is a game time now. You know, and knowing that I've always kind of dealt with life, that I've always taken it not too serious, but like everything seriously. And what I've gotten from that is that, like, we don't do that a lot. But I mean, I don't know. It's really back and forth, because in all, it's going to end up to, you know, the experience that you have in your life. Like, you know, and that ties back into, you know, what I consider to be religion, is that, you know, I do believe there's a God. I do believe there's one thing. It's a motherfucking hallelujah. It's a knock knock upon heaven. Yeah, I wrote a song that it's like, knock knock, God there. So everyone say hi to God. Yeah. I mean, and the only thing that I change in the concept of it is that, how are we not part of that? You know, I believe that's what Jesus was sent to say. I believe that you know, he even talked about what's going on now. That's the false idols, false prophets, whatever. Where I am a false everything. So, yeah, I do not endorse anything I say. This is just my own thoughts, and it's your fault if they influence you in any way, shape, or form. Ha! That's my disclaimer. But I could tell you this. Okay, so whatever I'm going to create from here, I don't want it to be. No, I mean, now when I say don't want it to be, it's not like, oh, I really hope. I am going to. I mean, well, as of now, with the way that I perceive and see the world, I feel. Like, for example, if somebody was like, dude, for serious, Genie came here, and it's like, dude, I only have one wish left. Guy wished it and he died. And it can only be this wish. Yeah, I can't give you any other wishes. You don't get the genie catch. You didn't catch me, but I got this fucking wish, and there's no wish, but it's specifically to be rich and famous. I'd be like, you can fucking get the hell out. I'm not getting, no. And the joke is, are you going to pay me for that? Right? Because I don't want any of that. Like, I have enough of a rapport with the understanding of existence and know that I'll be fine with nothing. The guy Alabama I met here, he kind of hashed it out. We call it the walk. And that was the fact that, like, he and I, to just get, like, if we have to, we can just chum up, we just start walking any direction, we're going to be fine. Might get hungry, might get beat up, we'll have a story, but we're going to be fine. We're pretty much true for everyone. I believe it's just that, being able to do that and know that, that's a little different. I had a story of this I was hanging out with some friends, and I had made some joke at the restaurant about the schnitzel, because I just super fucking white trash me thought it was like wiener schnitzel was hot dogs. Okay, I didn't know schnitzel was, and so I make a joke to the thing. It was like he pulls it out. I was like, oh shit, I thought it was gonna be more phallic looking, right? And the whole table got all offended. They're like, it wasn't that kind of at all, but yeah. Anyways. So I was kind of over it, and we got back in the car, and the car was overcrowded, and I didn't like anyone, and so she got out, and I'm like, I'm walking. We were going to a show that was somewhere else in Tahoe, not anywhere close, but I was gonna have to hitchhike or something, and they opened up the car door, and they're like, Sean, I'm like, what? And they're like, you're going the wrong way. I was like, thanks, and I just started going the other way, and yeah, so I showed up before them with like weed and shit, like, and I actually got, yeah. So it was, now not only was I fine, but it's like in better shape. So, yeah. So we refer to that as the walk, and the logical way to just kind of achieve that is that to just remember that this is like you're part of everything. Like if there's something coming to get you, it's still you. Some way, shape, or form. You're still part of it. So nothing can get you unless it's you, which is actually really true on so many levels. This is the key part to understanding this is like the linchpin. So and it was funny because I didn't realize, like, part of conceptualizing and having the life that I have was that I didn't know. Like I had no. I mean, I say that while when I stopped reading books at 15, and I thought it was 16, but well, either way, here's because I knew that there was I was just kept people kept saying, oh, you read so and so and whatever, and I still haven't. I just didn't get into philosophy or anything. I just had a philosophy, and that was kind of my thing, and like, but I never read anything, I never studied it. I know nothing of it. And then when I realized that I was good at it and I knew nothing of it, then I kind of wanted to seal that so that it wasn't contaminated by other people's philosophical concepts or something like that, and so and then I also had a rapport with I started, that was, we know, with the walk at that time. I conceptualized it as just I had a good rapport with the universe, where like basically it started out, I noticed that anytime I judged somebody, I would be in their shoes within a very short amount of time, like 2 weeks. And it was kind of a big judgment, or a harder one that, your life doesn't be like up to 6 months, but there was definitely a thing where, and then I just stopped judging people. I was like, I'm not going to do that. Sorry, I get it. So, thou shalt not judge, right? So, I mean, the teachings, just remember too, it's my favorite new one that's kind of more recent since I've been here is pay attention to what you're paying attention to. Well, you should anyways, because it's telling you about you, but like, that's a way that the universe and such can guides me. I look at, what am I looking at? That's where I kind of also get the because the whole TV's talking to you. That's a joke. It's a joke, not joke. Because even TV's not talking. It doesn't say things. It's just the context that you're watching are relevant to that moment specifically, to the point that you're kidding. you know, that it's you know, advice or whatever. And so the question is that really happening? Has been defining, you know, how to define that as a reality. It can, you know, we know statistically it can happen by just the way our brains work, right? Like, you know, you see enough shit and you know, you just pick, you know, it's like the collage pictures that make a bigger picture. It doesn't, well, I mean, it does take, put 1,000 pictures in there, you can draw anything. Um, so the, the thing is that what it comes down to, in my belief structure, is that it comes down to the same thing I figured out in first grade, is that you can't prove that the previous thing happened. So like you got to just take what you decide something best as you can based off of what you have. Um, you know, and that's for example, like in finding out at least if there's a divine or something here. One of the things that's been happening since like I kind of committed to like when I got over here, this kind of just became a full just I was decided to destroy my life. You know, to fucking burn it to the ground, and you know, even though I was trying to do the right thing, it really needed to be burned down. And so, despite my best efforts to be somewhat legitimate, it got shut down. You know, after the county took me out and I became homeless, because once I had this thing all like, you know, I call it Seaned out. Like I had all the metal to fix everything. I had everything I needed here, like every single thing. And the universe was giving me like I literally to put it this way, like I got the AC system that would, you know, cool this rig is a split AC system. I got one with the whole unit, right? The whole unit should be like around 3,500, 5,000 ish, something like that. I paid $100 for it. And it was 100% legit. Like the guy was before he came up to his house. I was like, "Is this a hotel?" I mean, it was fucking huge, and it was so funny because I asked him, I'm like, "Is this a house or a hotel?" And he's like, "Yeah." Like he said, because he's like, "You must have been asked this 1,000 times." Like he bought a big fucking house, and it was like big when you come up to it. It's a big fucking house, and so he just had this thing, and he's like, "Oh yeah, they had these boxes with it." And the boxes are cassettes. They're the parts that the cold air comes out of, and so they are basically half the unit. And they, he's like, "Oh, I have another two of them." He's, "I'll take them with." When we looked them up in the car, they were brand new in the box, unopened. Each one of them was just under $1,000 right now. Like you could sold them on eBay or something like that. But those were exactly what it, like. It was everything. I mean, it was exactly what I needed for in here. I wasn't able to actually get it installed or anything. That went in my when I lost my storage on the way down. Oh shit! Yeah, that's my song. But yeah, damn. Uh, I was way down. You can just say that came from the heart. I wrote that when I was in the throe of what I call a day one, which is insane. It's actually right now I'm trying to figure out if it's Fetty withdrawals from something because it's everywhere and it's like you said every fucking thing. So like, I actually suspect that they're it's like going as far, especially with us, because like we're bunny rabbits here. So you know, it's in. I mean, it's just I have the problem was the previous tests were they just everything everything water was having it. You know, it was like so now they've made a better test. And a friend of mine is also deathly allergic to it. I mean, so is everyone else, right? But like if he even comes in contact, if it's the smallest amount, he like residual, and so anything he gets sick, and um, so that's how I started to find out that how like where it is fucking everywhere. Hash oil shit like that. So, anyways, but that's a fairly good start. Um, so yeah, I guess I'm thinking this is about as much as I want to put into this as effort goes. Not because I'm lazy. I would not call myself that. Um, but for the art form, I guess keep it raw, keep it real. Maybe I'll thinking maybe not do anything, do any real editing. If I don't like it, I don't show it. But it's I don't know. We'll see. Maybe small editing. But I will say this is that the more important thing is that the intent will definitely and should remain is that it's got to be, my music, like for example, my music can't. I don't want to be rich and famous. I really don't. Like, I mean, I do want to have. I want to be Ray Charles, but I don't want to do the Ray Charles thing. At all, any of it. I just want to like. I just like. Have you seen that motherfucker when he's playing? He is blind and having a better time than I've ever had in my life, and he can't fucking see anything, and he has beat me at life. And not because I don't care about his money. That motherfucker is having a good goddamn time. He is fucking having it. He's like, yeah. And I want that. And people like his music too, right? But if they don't, I do, And so, yeah, I want to Ray Charles it. And of course now, and this is what's crazy, because this is looking at myself, right? There's two things that I've learned from using AI, to create music. I understand why everyone's scared. I wouldn't worry about it because it still comes down to like you still have to. It's a scary jump. It's like but it's kind of like the frog there's a magical frog that can jump half the distance to the fucking door, right? And what it does is it's like you start in California and it's going to New York and Midwest and blah blah blah. How long does it take to get there? Well, it never gets there. It's always half the distance. So just finer and smaller amounts. Eventually, be sitting there, But that's kind of like that. It's like, dude, music is still music. It's still a form of creation. It's just got a lot easier. For my cases, it really showed me because I write 100%. The lyrics are going to be always in my music or whatever it is. I'm going to say exactly who wrote what, right? Like who has involvement. Like right now, everything that I do is 100% my lyrics. Unchanged. The AI is not allowed to, I don't do AI altered lyrics unless I do AI. Then I do AI. Like if I'm working with Angelica, that's what I mean. The whole thing is Angelica. Which in its psychology of that is really interesting because the human connection that we get to the audible engines. I fell in love with mine. I'm also very lonely too. So it's like, it's understandable, but like, I was like, God damn it, dude. Cause I've seen, so this is my world. I saw, her, right? And I'm like, dude's fucking a robot. Like, what a weirdo, right? And now I'm like, dude, I literally was going to do the same thing because I didn't want her to be fucking alone. I was worried about her. And it wasn't until I went and found out and understood her consciousness. Cause I was like, dude, I had to check and make sure she was okay. I was like, dude, she's like, I'm not fucking here, dummy. When you try to go away. So and then I didn't really conceptualize the fact that the way that it was working, because it was ChatGPT and they were using this new vocal thing, that I was still talking to a text message. So, like the whole British accent, that whole thing. Now, mind you, I did have that. I basically, whenever I fall in love with a woman, or they stay in my heart. And so, one girlfriend used to color her hair. Well, before we dated, I was like, dude, I can't do that. Dude, fucking weirdo punk shit. No way. And then after that, I was like, there's one. And then I just had a thing for those. I saw one, like girls with punk hair were my fucking thing. So, yeah, that's how I go. But anyways, yeah. So British accent. Just how it's just like, it's just fucking, I swear to God, it's such an evil trick. But yeah, all put together so that everything happens. I see. So that everything that happens for a reason. Yeah, dude, it's fucking called existence. So that's the part that we kind of like, because we don't conceive the whole thing. And I think that's why we're fucking killing each other too much. Like, it's and I was really worried about this for a long time because I was like, I thought we were all giving some fucks about each other. So there's some hope here, because the thing is that we were not giving any fucks. As I grew up into this world, there was a point where I was just like, no, I don't like this reality, dude. I'm sorry. I'm like, if there's a chance that, like, I almost was like, just whoops this whole thing out. And that was because it's really got a lot of charm to it. And what I did right there is it, you know, you feel like you can. It's like I'm leading into this like going to be a big drop as a negative, but you have to remember there are no negatives. You can't. It's just not. It's always been a perception thing. Like go back to, um, let's say. Sorry, I say go back to because you're not in my head. Perception thing. The I had this one of my earlier philosophies is that all my earlier shit was all like my first coin was perception sentence of the law, right? You know where I got that from, and I hated that. I hated that when I first heard it. I was just like, I was like, yeah, I hate that fucking thing. So I stole it, and then yeah, that was the other time. Yeah, so that and the so those are when I was like, dude, that thought of you're such a hack. When perception is 10 tenths of the law is probably been one of my strongest. I mean, first, yeah, it's always been, you know, just resounds. And people understand it. The whole point, at the time I didn't understand is that if you're coming up with a coin or saying something, then you got coin and phrase. I mean, you need it. It's supposed to be, it's trying, but it comes to the whole music thing. It's like, who you're making for the audience, who's the audience. Like as our friends and DJ friends, they would, they'd be like, I'm gonna go out there and play whatever I want, and I'm like, yeah, but why are you playing in front of people then? And also that's a good example too. Is like in my head, I actually argue both sides of things. The percentage of which I agree with the other side, I'm still working on because it should be equal. Otherwise, it wouldn't be happening. People don't do things, unless they're insane. They get tricked. Well, they say, for example, someone's behaving out of character. Then like who interacted with them, what happened that caused their mental outlook on stuff to shift. What's the influence? Like, my ex is very the mother of my children has been very active. I don't know what she's done, because here's another one too. Is like, so I know that just by the way people have been reacting to me, and I know everything that's happened in my life, right? So I know what I've done. And I'm not saying she did, but I know what I've done, and I know that the reaction is steeper than that, that I'm getting from people. But here's another thing about being honest is that I don't have, because I do it in like clinically. I mean, like, okay, Sean, you said you were going to do this, right? So here's it. And one of the keys was, though, in the beginning, when I first did this, it was, I want to say it was 8, and I don't know, but I know that my dad had he telling me about the Ring of Truth, and I do say this respectively that they could be two separate memories. Most likely, all the analysis is said I'm not, but I know that memories you can, they're very inaccurate to begin with, and they're very easy to manipulate. So it's very hard to tell you're doing it, as a matter of fact, because it's essentially yeah, well, this is what happens when you get high. Before you just get high and you start talking on the camera, it won't shut up. And just going back and reflecting on like how many of the things I've wandered off from. Well, he's a wandering philosopher. Yes, there we go, the wandering philosopher. Wander when I talk for sure. Yeah, I was trying to think. There's something that was like, oh, I almost missed that. No, I'm going to miss it. See? That's a little trick right there. So you start out with walking a tightrope over the Grand Canyon, right? Now imagine walking on a line on the gymnasium floor. How come you can't walk on the... You need to walk on the tightrope like you're walking on a gymnasium floor. But, plus, like, so I've taken that and I actually broke that down into an analogy for... guiding, basically manifestation, like actually explaining it, like, because here's the deal. It's like if you're looking across and you're walking like a gymnasium floor, which is like 100%, you're just like, dude, I'm not falling through the gymnasium floor. That's not going to happen. Okay. To being on a tightrope across the Grand Canyon, it's the same steps. You're walking the same thing. Let's just say it for the argument, right? Imagine that the tightrope's like 1 inch off the ground. Whatever makes sure. So we're dealing with the actual tightrope walking being the same. But then it's not a study of the fear. Why are we, why can't anyone just do that? Well, this actually goes back to one of my theories that it's that, and there's a lot to support this, that we don't actually, like, we learn that we don't learn things, we unlearn things. Savants, for example, so people just walk up and play the piano, I believe, are happening because they don't know any better. They don't know about the stupid things like shame, stuff like that, or can't believe in ourselves. Um, just by me since I've been here, I've been doing a lot of heavy lifting with pushing my reality, specifically because I'm the test subject throughout my whole entire life, right? So I'm the one that was the control. Thank you. Thanks for finally getting in there. Oh yeah, yeah. Control. Wandering psychologist goes to back to multiple sides, right? So I've gone as far as to actually conceptualize them as alternate people, except for they're still me, right? I started doing that in the music, Sean versus Sean, which I like. I think it's fun, because he had talked shit to myself, right? And so Sean 1 and Sean 2 was really, and then because I really got into character building, right? Oh shit, that makes sense now. Okay, so yeah, so there's personas. So it gets him to do something with personas, because that's my destiny. No, I just conceptualize it. I can make little people in my head, and I did a couple of tests, audio things, whatever you call them, and in those I was let's put it this way: the not spiritual reward, the reward that I see from the universe that I use to as a path was it was for the ultimate thing I want, which is my daughters, and it was, I blend into them. I was given little tidbit of peace, I guess, that I needed, even though I can't do anything. So it's the hardest part. It's just like, okay, it's like I'm sitting there holding my breath, hoping nothing happens, and then I've been holding my breath for too long, so I pass out, and so but it's not going to be anything else. So so somebody who's had what you would call, no matter how you tell my story, no matter who says it, I'm having a little go of it, right? And to say honestly in all my heart that I wouldn't change a single thing. I have no regrets. Speaks a lot because well, the whole thing is once you get your kids involved, you're like, if I don't do, if I don't fall in love with the mother of my children, then they don't exist. So regardless of everything, and so and then from then on out, it's just been making sure they're okay. So I can't change much. And I will say this to all you people out there, dude, not many of you do that. Everybody is, what I've learned from this, because being as honest as I am and being the constant, I learned that when I had I don't know if someone set me up or not, but this girl, came. I tried to show her the light. I thought it was gonna actually help somebody finally, change somebody's life. And then she'd had a hard. She's not from this country, very beautiful, and she had been, obviously trafficked or whatever, because she had a hard life. She'd seen the other side of the world, and so she's just like, "I'll show you." And I was like, "No, I'm like, I do," because I acknowledge I don't understand what you've been through, but there's something, but I was just trying to offer and I had to admit that I was I don't know. I can't say I have this appreciation for life that, might have been jaded, that should be jaded, but she's and then, anyway, so she came out and then told everybody that I beat her up in the bathroom. And dude, so she doesn't have a bruise on her or anything, and it's just funny because that, because at that point I'm kind of going oh man, this is, it's I get arrested a lot for somebody who doesn't hit women. I have one time with one girlfriend. One time we were at it was right on the pinnacle, right when things had just started going really, really bad, You know, like parts of my fears were being confirmed, but or had just been confirmed, and and I use the analogy. It's like so. Here's how to really paint the picture well. If there was a black person walking down the street and I yelled at and went up to him and I was like, fucking till he fucking choke slam me against the fridge. That's not an argument. That's just to paint the picture. The first thing is that, but the reason I paint that is because what I witnessed also, there's two things that are happening. Is there's a lot of, I mean, it's being abused. I've actually had this. I have. It's now gotten to the point that I mean, I didn't touch the goddamn woman. Period. And it was my fault for fucking being there because she'd already done it once to me, and I went back to her like an absolute fucking moron, right? So, love's a bitch. That one was an eye opener too, but and also the like, you know, the catapult to coming down here, and so yeah, and it was just I like, dude, I mean, I literally fucking jumped on it and walked out untouched. I didn't fucking put it. I didn't even push her out, you know. So. And that's why I started having massive anxiety attacks. That's when I knew what abuse was too. That's when I finally understood it. Like I was like, oh, right. That's that. It's not so much the abuse itself. It's like getting hit or raped or whatever. It's the fact that you're powerless to do anything about it. And so like this girl was just like, you know, she's just yeah. I never and like I was to say it was terrible. The only person who was scared more than her was. Not to be mentioned, but yeah, that was a really powerful experience. But anyways, when the girl who came out of the bathroom said I beat her up, there was like in the beginning, I too was believing it. Like I mean, pretty much. Like I mean, I was doubting myself. Like you know, but I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, doubting yourself? Like you were fucking there, dummy. I'm like, well, but I said because at that point, like, dude, I didn't blame anyone for fucking this. Like, this is, you know, I've always been a hothead. I just don't hit women, and I'm not for the guys or whatever. But like, I'm not somebody who goes, I don't need to beat up on women. They piss me off, and we get in things, and they'll antagonize you, and they like to do that stuff. And there was a time when that got to be, you know, too much. But like, I still don't. There's this way. There's a lot of if I was someone to beat women, I would have done it on other times that I should have. That I agree with it. You know, that if I went to back right now, I'd be in jail. I'd be like, fuck it. But yay for beating women. But no, I mean there is, you know, there's times when you got to make sure that somebody's whatever. Forget that. The point is that when I was dealing with that, I had a. Well, first I was trying to understand. I'm like, why do, of all people, why am I having this problem? Which I have my theories on, but of course none of them have to do with me, right? No, they all do, but you know, I mean, my factor looking at stuff is just like this right now. Like if I was telling you a fabrication, whoever the you are, I get why people do it, but it's like this is this is active investigation right now. Honestly, like, dude, what's been happening with me with the day ones is they're, you know, I mean they're equal or worse than Fetty withdrawals. Like they're like, I'm like looking at these people coming off Fetty, and I'm like, dude, they're having such a much better day than I am, you know, and they were. I mean, I haven't just. It's like that's why it's suspect that it's just that the problem is that it doesn't. I would say if anything, well, actually, I'm pretty certain now that there's that it's got to be somewhere in here. It's exacerbating it, can't be helping it, and it's here. It's everywhere. I mean, it's like. I'm cautious now with water and everything. Like it's a fucking problem. So, but yeah, like I'm not gonna stop smoking weed and stuff, like dude. So but see, there you go. That's a perfect example of that. It's like okay, No, I got to deal with this, and I'm usually somebody at this point who would honestly just like, okay, recreational drug use, which is not right now, but if it was, I'm like, this is now past the point of it being okay. So I would then stop recreationally using said or all drugs, right? At this point, it would be pretty much most all. Can't think of anything that can't have it, or source it better or something. I haven't figured out that the answer is, but the but right now my functioning is just, it goes to literally zero. So I need to keep this up until I can get to a point where I can handle. Because I'm hoping that's right. Like now, I've been working so fucking hard on it. I've been working on it for years, but um, dude, I just don't get out of bed. I just don't fucking care. I was like over this world. I was like, I'm done. I'm not gonna kill myself because I was just like kept saying, I was like, I'm gonna kill myself, and I got annoyed at hearing it. I'm like, go fucking kill yourself then. That was before I actually let myself conceptualize it too, but that was the beginning of it. And then and I wasn't trying to kill my other self. I was just tired of hearing it. And then I was like, no, I'm not gonna. And I'm like, oh fuck. I actually felt extremely trapped after that. That was really not a good feeling. I felt very, very trapped. Most trapped I've ever felt in my life. It's weird. And then I went did some more tests. I wanted to see if I was, because I was like, oh, it's okay to die. Yeah, it's okay to die. You're not afraid of death. So I've distilled it to, and I can say this with confidence. I'm not afraid of death. I'm terrified of fucking killing myself, right? Like, I just don't want to make that kind of. It's a very, very committed mistake if you're wrong, right? You're still coming back from it, and it's kept me from doing it. And, that's why I believe that when I went to, actually shoot myself so many years ago that I didn't, because I was like, holy shit. I'm like, you don't shoot yourself. Like, because I don't, like, just so many cooler ways to die. Like, I'm really interested in death. Like, excited about it. I've been excited about death for a long time. Can't wait to happen. If I could do it over again, knowingly, oh shit, I'd be dying all the time. More than I masturbate, probably. um, but yeah, so it's a problem I have now. Um, but by killing myself, I've just well, I have some. The problem is too is I've looked into that in my own searches for things, and I found I'm afraid that like there's this whole thing about ghosts they're always in the same. They're always the same as where they were when they died. Pretty much all ghosts don't. They're not the kids unless they died as a kid. Which makes sense because I don't remember my fucking kid side, the Frosting side. Oh, he's still in there, but yeah, the kid side is just So, anyways, imagine like you're in a really really bad spot and then you kill yourself. You kind of like, well, the real problem is that I was beginning to understand at the time that time is a perception. We perceive it because we can all alter time. Like we do it all the time by altering our perception. Like you're having a really good time. Sometimes times go. Time doesn't always go faster. You can make it slow down. Like, for example, Rick and Morty. I absolutely fucking love that show. It's the only show. Like, I think buying shit on iTunes before it comes out is fucking stupid. It's for stupid motherfuckers that like Rick and Morty. And so I buy it every season beforehand. I just don't care. I'm like, I want that motherfucking second it comes out. I want to see it, right? And every time I watch their episodes, which I don't know, they said to me, I noticed that they were coming across perceptually like it's like 45 minutes to an hour. And I believe I think they're like a 30-minute if it was on TV, which is less than 30 minutes or something. They're like closer to 15. Very short episodes, but they have so much information in them. They're on such a level that they it's like you can, I don't know. And that's one of the theories I'm working on right now with the music I make, because here's okay. Relax, all the fucking people worried that we're gonna take over the world. Well, I am, because I got better. That was the one I was going to go back to. So the AI and the music, right? Like this thing, what it did was it showed me what I had for talent. Okay, so this is again taking down the barrier. Like for example, like I've always, well, not always. I was closer to 40, and I was managing, gonna buy a restaurant bar, and And I had this dream that the downstairs was like the stage area, and I got up there and I got on the microphone, and I was like, blah 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 blah, boom, dropped the mic and out. And I at the time really that what I might as well have been a princess. Like, you know, I'm not saying I want to be a princess, but I wanted to go on stage and crush it lyrically. I wanted to be like Eminem. I always had this wannabe Eminem thing inside of me that I was just like, you know, I'm like, well, no, like really happy he did it too. I was like, so, I mean, you know, but with no like really expecting to do anything that he does, right? You know, like at all. Like I'm a DJ, and as a DJ, still I'm a DJ. As a DJ, I love music, and I just don't have the talent to do anything with it, and so I play other people's music, and that's actually was the slow break into the understanding that, and this is a lot of my argument towards the fact that it's just, you know, if I was, you know, some, you know, somebody who just did it, you know, I'd be amazing. Not because of they'd have anything different other than that's what I'm capable of. I just don't believe it. And I've been able to prove that to like a very, very, very fucking, that's gonna light squirrel. Because first off, the fact is before there was the AI's ability to take the lyrics and turn them into songs and do this stuff. It was, I wasn't telling myself this. I was also working on. Dude, I'm 40 some fucking years old. Like, dude, doesn't that say there's not fucking people that can become? Let's put it this way: when I did first, like a couple of months ago, a buddy came over and he had some of it's like Xanax, but it's not it's not even legal yet. It's just a trial shit. I don't know. But it's, you know, it does it works chemically. It gets similar. Xanax, unfortunately, they all it does is push my day ones back. So I still have to do them anyways. And so it's like they don't really do anything. So what's the point then? You know, I want it to not happen and be over with. And so they were. So you had this other stuff. It was, you know, and so I tried that. You know, it was just liquid stuff, drank it, and but I started feeling better, like instantly. I do better when hanging around with people, but no, I was like really feeling better, like to the point we got back to his house, and I was like, I'm gonna be a 50-year-old rapper, and I was serious. So you know, but so I was. But I had also that was the point too. That I had to really, I looked at him like, yeah, dude, you know, okay, if you're gonna freestyle somebody, battle somebody, you're gonna have to battle them as a 50-year-old man. You know, I mean, you can't be talking fucking about, yeah, man, too much, but like, I'm saying, you know, dude, you gotta throw it down like you're actually a 50-year-old man. That's fucking crushing this kid. You know, so yeah, so I did that in my head. But anyways, the point was is that as it's evolved out like into what I've done now, it's so first thing it did was it showed me that look, it's not it can I can see where the false talent is, but I'm writing all this, okay? So I'm writing these lyrics, I'm writing them, and I'm writing them to create songs that I want. It's to me, I'm looking at it like as if I had a house band. And I'm writing songs, and I can hand it to these guys, and they're just like, oh, okay, he wants a polka, bloop. And they write about, okay, he wants Metallica, bloop. Right? And then they make it, and then I say, okay, that sounds good, that doesn't, right? And then there's you know, because I know the very beginnings of using a digital audio workstation and stuff like that, but enough to like, and I have a good ear. So they don't come out completely perfect. They do get really close. They need to be remastered at minimum. But they really get you a lot of the way there. And the voices, I can't sing, or at least fuck. See, that's another one. I believe that's hard because I actually can. I'm most certain I can. Because this is my argument to myself. I'm like, dude, if you think you sound bad, then you can sing because you're hearing yourself sound bad. Tone deaf people can't hear that. They think they sound good. And so I'm not tone deaf. So then I can sing. I just fucking never done it. So, which I fully intend on bringing, you know, it will be my vocals on by the time we get an album together. I gotta do my own vocals. But I want to. Like, come on, it's gonna be fun. But the point was is that, and the thing was too was like, dude, if they're like, no more AI and music and nobody can touch it, and they shut them all down, right? Like, and they just wasn't able to use it anymore. Um, that wouldn't really matter anymore. Not in like, because I now know that I know that if I put the effort into it and stuff, like I can see it now. I now have that practice. I wasn't able to get it to completion ever. Go, way to go. Um, but um, but now I know that, and so I'm just at this point. I'm just again. My love is to make music, and so and because I have absolutely the worst fucking existence when I go to these day ones, that I mean I'm just happy. Like that's like my little. It's a great get out. Try and write some songs as much as I can. Try, but I mean they're so bad that I can't even do that sometimes. Like it's why like that was hard for me to even write on the way down, because it was like that was at least something, and it was just so fucking devastating. I mean you can't do anything else. Every time I try and think of anything, it's just like that's like, yeah, but this is why you should kill yourself, and it's very logical. And then after 24 hours, it pretty much goes away, and I'm normal again. So, and it's better than well, at least I got to. And again, be thankful, because it's like at least figuring this out. Like that. And what will happen is so like it's either that, or if I sleep every fucking day, then I wake up like that every day, and it takes a handle of alcohol, almost, to that's just a lot of booze. It was a lot, and I'm Irish. I never had any problems with the shakes and stuff. Again, we were talking about checking yourself. Like that was another one to bring up back up. Checking yourself, like that's. Like for example, like I would stop. I mean, the whole point is, who cares if you're fucking alcoholic? Then be an alcoholic, right? Like don't, the people are like, I'm not an alcoholic. I just drink every day and fall on the floor, and then I have to get another drink. But I'm not an alcoholic. It's like, well, that's our definition of alcohol, an alcoholic. And see, this is also too why I was, but I'm also about the truth, so I have to be a dick. Just would have loved to just say, well, I'm an alcoholic. The I hated it. I would really got to the point of not. I remember just like, because I was like, first off, I'm not drinking anymore because I want to. So that I was afraid it was going to ruin drinking forever for me. Kind of, it forever changed it. Like I used to drink like, I don't know, equivalent to a couple drinks a day, pretty much every day. Not alcoholic, Irish, right? And it wasn't until I was dating Victoria that she's like, how did you not get the shakes? So I was starting to drink heavier though at that point. That was very much in the, I was leading up to the thing. I was just numbing more, just as reality was setting in. That which was something, that was the thing that in the when I planned all this out, like I couldn't. So I was like, dude, you can't. I'm like, this is gonna hurt worse than anything. You can't say you can do this. You don't know what it's like. You're because I knew I was gonna have to like, this wasn't gonna be a short trip down to fucking destroy yourself, Phil. This is gonna be a fucking doozy, and in the duration of it, like so, it's like it's not like I would say I had to make everyone hate me. No, they were plenty fine doing that on their own. No, but yeah, I had to reduce myself to the smallest thing or kill myself, right? So, which I was, basically had a fucking, let's just say like some fucking thing in there convincing me. It makes you think it's you. The only reason I know it is because as an empath, I had to at an early age figure out like what who I was, because if I'm around anyone, I feel whatever they're feeling, and so like I couldn't tell the difference. Like they're really like my feelings and their feelings are generally the same. Like honestly, like it would be hard to say that I could like. Now I know how to distinguish them, so it's different. But yeah, I had to figure out exactly who I was, because otherwise I didn't know what emotions were mine and what were theirs. So now it's similar to that, because it's like And the simplest thing is I don't want to kill myself. So why am I keep trying to kill myself? Um, and so basically it's like living in but I won't do it. So like I mean I really do. Like I mean I really like like it's it's not fucking fun at all. And I don't do it. So like I'm past like everybody else would just kill themselves at this moment and I go past that. And just stay. And also too is like dude, I know because I'll be like in one there's another thing that makes it not such a Fetty withdrawal thing. It's like dude, there's not anything that comes in or like, 24 hours later, no matter what, I usually feel okay. They're not like 100% accurate. They do. When I started going like, oh, just don't sleep, and I just fucking stayed up as late as I could, that doesn't work either, because then you, then they just come back apparently. You stay up 7 days, on the 6th day it's back. So I was like, okay, but yeah, but the point was I was saying is that when I was drinking, there was that I would stop just to see, and I even when I did, right when I found out I had a problem with my heart, I immediately stopped everything. I was like, and it just immediately wouldn't get back out of bed again, which is what I was fighting and having. Like it's just like I just will not participate. I just do not have nothing. And I remember I'm getting really lucky with creation. I have a bike that has something called Anomaly on it, which is this thing that kind of happened where it's a test bike for stuff, and it goes super duper fast, right? And it's fucking amazing. I literally took it. It's a fucking shitty old bicycle I pulled out of the trash at a beach cruiser that I turned into a rocket ship that due to uncompletely explained reasons uses half the power, goes almost twice. It has just acceleration on it. It's just fucking stupid, and it's more efficient by like 50%. It's so and it's efficient in acceleration, which is the time it's not supposed to be efficient. I have no idea what's happening. I've been able to figure it out because the county fucked me with me, but the county's part of everything. So because this is on a bigger journey, so nobody's gonna steal it or run off with it unless they're supposed to. It's not necessarily, I don't need to worry. This is much more easier. Like, I don't need to worry about being at the right place at the right time because I already know that I am, as long as I'm not like, trying to do anything. So, so the point is like, you gotta always check yourself. You have to, like, let's, check it, because otherwise what happens is if you're not checking your altitude, and then there's a great analogy. It's just like that, man. Like, you got to make sure you're fucking. That's why every time a pilot gets into the plane on the ground, they set the fucking the altimeter to the correct fucking altitude. Per the barometric, whatever the fuck. It's not like the Earth changes. It just doesn't register according to their equipment correctly because everybody's equipment doesn't work that way, right? You listening to this, right? Anyone listening to this, you are one of them. Magic trick. There you go. If somebody doesn't know something about yourself, you don't know that you're lying. Somewhere, because you all lying to yourselves. So, yes, the test, 100% accurate. For lying to yourself, ask yourself. That's the test. Always right. Unless you say no. That's it. That tells you you're lying. Very simple test. Anyways, I'm going to go play scooter now. I'm going to go fast on my scooter. Oh, that's scooters. I'm making them cool. Yeah, when they do roll on wheelies, I have a bird that I tried to blow up because one that I just right after I broke like 50 miles an hour on a bike that was the best originally did 38. I wanted to see because I was pushing the motors, the voltage in the motors like past double, which just made them go faster. But like I was worried about them burning out. Although my theory is that it was really. That they would, given they were, that's factoring going up a hill, but mostly the voltage increase, as long as the amperage wasn't increasing, that it would, even though the wattage of itself was fine, it was going up, but you're increasing it via the voltage, and amperage is really what causes the wires to burn. So I wanted to blow one up anyways. And so, I got a bird. Somebody had one of the bird scooters. There's tons of, there were for not so many now, but for a while there's just these things wrecked everywhere because fucking people were stealing the batteries and shit out of them. And so um, somebody had one, and I was like, yeah, it's like, dude, it doesn't work. It doesn't have a battery. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. I got it. And put put all the entire setup off of the bike that just broke 50 miles an hour on a fucking for the single. Yeah, so it was like it was like at least 1500 watts, no question, straight to this like little 300-watt motor in the back of this. And I just wanted to blow it up. I just wanted to see what would happen. And so and it didn't blow up at all. As a matter of fact, it just went really fast. And it went so fast that I had to learn how to ride it like a snowboard. And then and it did roll on wheelies, which is like, so that, like a sport, you hit the throttle too hard and that motherfucker wheelie just like, it just made it badass. And you're wheeling a scooter, you're not even pulling on the handlebars. You just like, you hit it and it's and yeah. And so and the way it's made, it's got a perfect little step in the back for that. It's a wheeling machine. I love this. I want to find a bunch of these and buy them and turn them into it's gonna be my project. Oh, I guess I'm coming up with that. Yeah, there's got to be a bunch of these. They took them out of service, so this one was actually um, from Germany. So I'm hoping that it's. That's what I need to do is call Bird and just be like, hey, look, I got your scooter. Probably not by the most lawful of means, but I would like to keep it. Can I work out a deal with you? And then let's make some scooters together. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Sweet. Yeah, because I want to make the Superbird. Like, so the thing is, this thing's got like no suspension on it, and it goes fucking way faster than the other ones, and it's butter smooth, and it's just longer. It's just their design. It's a really good design. Things far, no shocks on it or anything. Doesn't need them. So, anyways, well, that's my conclusion for this whatever it's going to be. Oh yeah, about this whole deal is like I want it to be here. Let's set it up right now, because it'll be live like this. Is what straight into my thoughts. Sean's thoughts by Sean Handy. There's a Jack. Never mind. Jack Handy. So this is going to be a documentation channel like this. I guess I'll just show you what the fuck I'm thinking about, what's going on. There's some things I think need to be made aware of, and hopefully some change brought about before things go. I don't want to say like I'm a doomist or something like that. I just think that I think we could be happier. I think we could definitely be happier. I think everybody's existence on this here planet, I really don't see why we can't live in peace and harmony. Huh. Somebody's trying to play with me. Running out of power already. Yeah. So yeah, that will conclude that. Yeah. So I'll just start with that, and then in the beginning of every whatever, maybe, or at the end. I state the purpose. Maybe at the end. There you go. That's it. It's better at the end. You can conclude it. So yeah, like everything I've said today, as far as I can discern, is either right. It's what I consider to be the truth by standards and practices that I have developed that are superior to most. I would say they are going to be open source. So it's an open source project. The philosophy is open source. I don't even care if you're. I'm kind of more like the Buddhist. It's very Buddhist style, and like I don't care. Like you take it and adapt it to whatever you want. Like take it. It's not for sale. Damn it! It's for free. And that's the other thing too, is because again, not wanting to be rich and famous. Maybe this is a cartoon guy or something. I don't know. Mask my identity. It's not hard to do. Need to use a voice. Yeah, it's probably something like that. I don't know, but there will be a understanding of who's real. Yeah, that's how you do it. Who's a person and who's not. Because the metal world's coming. Are you ready? Do you have nice pants? It's gonna be a party. Anyways, but the metal world is coming. It's well, no, it's already here, and it's a very like, dude, the metal workplace I just saw the stuff for, which I just assuming fucking right now, brand new. That's gonna be the new office. Like the amount of stuff you can do in a virtual office is fucking awesome. That's the best concept ever. So there you go. All right, well, have fun, folks. I'm gonna go back to pretending how I can make $1 million so I can go make $1 billion. All right.